Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Crazy Lightbulb, and we are back again, and we have a new segment from D&D. That's right, we're going to go to step 2 of Intro for Character Creation for Beginners. Now, we have our character sheet where we left off last time. We have our base stats that we can arrange anytime we want. We also have our class that we picked. We picked a human. So we are 29, 6 foot tall, 180 pounds, hazel eyes, tan, with thick, short, golden blonde hair. And we are Darvin Greycastle. Sounds easy enough. So we're going to go up here. We're going to go to race. We're going to lock that in. So we are human. And we're going to go right here. And we're going to go Darvin Greycastle. Alrighty. See? So now, we're going to be going to the second section. Now, if you want these PDF books, they are out there. You can buy them. I would suggest that you buy them. But there are ways that you can find these books. Well, you know. So we're going to be picking classes. Now, classes have 3 different types. There's, well, actually, there's almost like, there's a lot of different types. There's the martial class. There's the magical class of it. You can be a healer, you can be a tank, you can be a damage dealer. So basically it comes almost down to World of Warcraft. Basically that's the best way I can suggest sum it up. You have your healer, you have your DPS, you have your tank, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you also have like your caster and stuff like that, but you know, mostly that's what it is. So our first character is Barbarian. Barbarians are big, burly, well, they don't have to be big, but they're mostly burly fighters that are very beefy and that have tons of hit points, and they dish out damage, and they go into a massive rage that allows them to have different abilities. So that's that. We're going to be skipping and going over everything. The Bard. The Bard is so wonderful because the Bard is basically all about the musical talents and magic. Singing songs, inspiring the people around you, and being charismatic. So, Bards are very multi-class. They can use weapons, but they can also use their music to cast magical spells. You can do a little bit of both if you want. So the next thing we're going to be going over is Clerics. Clerics are great healers, and they are great warriors. They could dish out damage in close combat, or they can damage from far away using their healing spells, or using their radiant spells and their healing abilities to heal out their allies. They also give great bonuses. There's a lot of different stuff on Clerics. Druids. Druids are amazing. Druids are able to shapeshift into animals, cast earth-type spells, and do all sorts of crazy talents, whether it's conjuring animals and many different things. But we're going to be focusing on more coming up. So let's check out what also we have. Fighter. Fighter is the most versatile thing you could ever be. If you're looking to be a bowman, if you're looking to be a close combat or a tank, and you just want to be versatile in everything, fighter is where it's at. When you're a fighter, you could basically be any martial type that you possibly can have. You can even, there is a subclass where you can actually start casting a little bit of magical spells at a later level. It's very nice. Now, the monk. The monk deals with their ki and their flow of energy. Whether it's using their ki to cast elemental spells, just like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or if it's using their ki to channel a fury of blows, just like Bruce Lee, because Bruce Lee is badass. Now, when picking a monk, there's so many things that you can do with a monk, but monks are fast, they're agile, and they are wise. Paladins. Just like a regular paladin in real life, these paladins represent the Holy Order. And These are basically big knights that are basically tanky, but at the same time, they are allowed to heal people or use their divine strength to guide them in battle. Rangers. Rangers are also very versatile. They can go for casting spells, having a woodling being as a friend, such as a dog or a panther or even a basic bear. You can use Ranger for many different types of things. When you want to dual wield, when you want to shoot archery, or even just be a swashbuckler. But the great thing about Rangers is that you can start casting light spells that assist you on your attacking, which is really good. Now, Rogues. The stealthy, sneaky, easy to slip out of everyone's way, to investigate, to disarm traps. The classic rogue. Rogues are great for backstabbing and getting in and doing that ton of damage quick early on. Very fragile, but great for dishing out that damage and being assisting to the party when searching for traps, or for disarming traps, or doing any number of things that you can think of. They're very versatile in some ways, but most of the time they do rely on being sneaky and relying on that first sneak surprise attack. The Sorcerer. Now we're going to be looking at the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer doesn't really revolve on reading books or or researching magic. They have an internal magic, a magic that is deep within inside their spirit, their mind, and their body, that they use to conjure and summon and use the very elements around them. There are many different variants to being a sorcerer, but there's even more of being a wizard, but we'll talk about that later. The next thing we're going to be talking about is a warlock. A warlock relies on an ancient deity, a patron, that is just so incredibly powerful that it bestows you the abilities of magic and darkness. Not necessarily always in that aspect, but they are above all just really, really strong. Early game, I believe they're extremely strong. Late game, they tend to kind of dwindle out, but they're really fun to play, and they're really awesome. But we have one more to check out. The Wizard. The Wizard is the most versatile magic person you could ever have. He can learn all different types of spells, and if he also focuses on a certain specific type of schooling of magic, whether it's evocation, which is the art of elemental magic, or abjuration, which is the art of creating barriers and dispelling magic. There are tons of different types of wizards out there. Anything you can think of. Basically, just think of Harry Potter. You could be a wizard to the point where you're like Voldemort. You could be a necromancer. You could be dealing the necrotic and evil damage, siphoning the life from someone else using your magical wand. Or you can be basically a transmutation. You can change things and alter things and change the way they look and alter their anatomy. So, above all, these are the classes that we're going to be focusing on. Now, as the basic thing, for me, I like everything in here. And I've actually almost played and made characters of everything in here. So, the thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be finding a class that we're going to be picking. So, out of everything, what should we pick? If you're a starting character and you know that you're not really a magic-y kind of person, like in video games, think of it like you're in video games. What type are you in World of Warcraft? What type are you when you're in any type of game that uses these three elements. The best thing I can suggest is just play what you want to play. Me, in World of Warcraft, I'm mostly the tank. I love being the tank. And you know what? The best thing about everything is just being the fighter. Or basically the warrior. So, let's just say I'm going to sum it up, and I'm going to be a martial class. And I'm going to go ahead and be kind of a martial character, but I don't know what to be. Well, you got to think of it this way. Am I going to be a paladin? Because am I going to use the holy art around me and kind of just dish out damage using my divinity and my deity? Or am I just going to go around and slash, hack, or could I possibly be ranged and fire from away? Either way, everything's great. But you know what? The basic thing I'm going to go over is fighter today. Because fighter is the most basic thing that you can be. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our character sheet and we're going to go straight to fighter. And we're going to put this at level 1. Oop, there we go. So, that's basically what we have. Now before we plug into the stats of anything, we're going to be going over backgrounds now. Backgrounds are fun to make and they're great to do. But the thing is that they do have a subclass of backgrounds and they give you bonuses. So, this all depends on our character later on. So, this is going to be the next segment. So the next segment is going to be going over personality and backgrounds. And then after that, the last segment will be plugging everything into the character sheet. And personality and background, we'll be plugging that in first, and we'll be showing you why that I do the background and personality first. Alright? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for this part 2 of character creation. Now, tune in for part 3 of character creation, where we're going over personality and background. So, my name is Crazy Lightbulb, guys. Please hit like and subscribe on these buttons and share these with your friends if they need help with anything. Now remember, when you're creating your first character, do what seems badass and cool to you. Don't go off of, oh, this works well with this. Oh, this works well with this. No, just be you. This is your first character. You want to have fun. You want to be awesome. You want to be cool. You play what you want to play. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. My name is Crazy Lightbulb, and I will be signing off.